Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to begin this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHA, YAHAWASHI, BAHA, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GREATMILLSTONE who rule well. I'm going to say Shalom to your Akim brothers out there that's lifting up the name of Yahweh, YAHAWASHI, pushing his truth in sincerity and all diligence. Yeah, the thing about faith, which is, what drives us to do what we do in this truth. One thing about it is, we don't need any outside evidence, any external sources to confirm our belief, to confirm our faith. All right. Because, this truth, first and foremost, it resonates with our spirit. Okay, it's a spiritual thing, man. And we have 100% belief in this truth. All right, because we are spiritually connected to the book. We don't need concrete evidence and archaeological proof that the scriptures and that the Most High and all the kings that you read about in the Old Testament, all the prophets are real. We don't need those things, man. All right, our faith alone is confirmation that the book is real, because the Lord said that he would send down the gift of faith, okay, to certain men, all right, in these last days for him to believe on him. And that faith is going to be big, that faith is going to be a big marker of our salvation. Because I was watching this video that the brother posted on his channel, and it's a good video to watch. You got all these Edomites. Matter of fact, let me start with the scripture first. Hebrews 11:1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." So faith is it's a substance. It's a spiritual substance, okay, of things hoped for. And we hope for a change in the world. We hope for the kingdom of heaven. We hope for the Lord to come back. And it takes faith. It takes that spiritual substance to hold on to those beliefs and those things that we hope for. It says the evidence of things not seen. Okay, so we're dealing with, remember, faith is not tangible, it's the spiritual. So it's the Greek word is elenkos. It says a proof that by which a thing is proved or tested, a conviction. Okay, so it's a proof. All right, so faith is a proof. And like I said earlier, the Lord was going to send the gift of faith. Paul said that, it's he said, we're saved by our faith. They're saved for the simple fact that we're believing in this thing. We just moving. There's something guiding us. There's an energy that's pulling us and pushing us, all right, to continue in this faith and put preach the word, and teach and reprove and rebuke, for our people, So this faith in itself is evidence. It is the proof, okay, that the Lord is real, and that the scriptures themselves are real. And like I was saying, what inspired me is, the brother, the elder brother, put up a video by another guy, Jason A, who puts up, different videos concerning biblical end times. And the video that he posted was of these Edomites who are basically archaeologists, man. It's like it. There are archaeologists who go out and they do all these digs over in the Middle East to prove that certain biblical events happened, to prove that certain prophets, that certain kings existed. Like in the video, they showed you that they found King Hezekiah's, half shekel with his inscription on it, and they found Isaiah's shekel of the prophet Isaiah, or like a seal of his with his signature on it. They also found artifacts from 70 AD when the Edomites ransacked and besieged Jerusalem, certain burnt artifacts. They found underground tunnels. They found bells that were attached to the Levitical priests' garments. They find certain cities. They find the plumes of the piles of ashes, of Sodom and Gomorrah. They found this vase, or this pottery, that they discovered that it was burnt and pretty much turned into glass. It was one substance, but because something happened, it turned into another substance, and they were using that to prove that the Lord rained fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah, because that's where they found it. So that's beautiful. It's beautiful to see that, our faith is being confirmed by tangible evidence. It's beautiful to see, proof that Isaiah, proof that King David and all these other kings of Israel, existed at one point in time. Seeing the Paleo Hebrew writings and all that. That's cool. That's awesome. And, it confirms the scriptures and what we already believe in. But we don't need those things, man. We don't need tangible evidence to prove, okay, that the scriptures are real. We just going with the Spirit. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. Romans 8 and 16. It says, "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High." See, our main thing is, we go into the scriptures to prove that we're the children of the Most High, okay? And it's the Spirit that bears, because it's the Spirit that bears witness. The Spirit is the book. The Spirit is the scriptures. It's the Spirit of the Most High. It's the words that are on these pages. It's a living book, okay? There's a spirit behind it. It's the Spirit of the Creator, okay? And we know that the Spirit of the Creator is within his people Israel. Israel is still here, alive and well, and the Lord first and foremost is dealing with his elect. So the elect first and foremost is going to find this truth. They're going to and the spirit of the book is going to resonate with us, okay? Because you find certain prophecies, you find certain characteristics of the Hebrew Israelites, okay, in the scriptures, and it matches up with how we are as a people. It matches up with the different atrocities and events that we went through. All right, Deuteronomy 28:68, which is speaking about, our slavery, of the northern and the southern kingdom. The curses themselves in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, they match up with what Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going through. The discontinuation from our heritage. All right, being a outcast of the world. Being in a state, an extreme unhealthy state. Spiritually. You find all that stuff in the scriptures, and it matches up with what we're going through, man. All right. So the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So we're able to go into these scriptures and prove that we're the Israelites, man. Okay. And the scriptures tell you that in the last days, there are going to be men who are going to stand up with great boldness, man, before the face of such as have afflicted us. Okay. We're being oppressed by these Edomites, and now the Lord is putting the spirit of understanding, wisdom, and knowledge back in our hearts through our faith, man. okay? And they were going out in the streets and standing up with great boldness, okay, before the face of these Edomites and these heathens that have afflicted us and have oppressed us for the past 300, 400, 500 years, man, okay? You only see so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans doing that. You don't see Edomites out there proclaiming that they're the Israelites. You don't see Moabites, so-called Chinese, out in the streets proclaiming that they're Israelites. You don't see Hamites, so-called Africans. All right, you don't see Ishmaelites, the Arabs. You don't see Ammonites. You don't see Japhites, all right, in great number, standing up as an exceeding great spiritual army, right, proclaiming the downfall of America, okay? You don't see that happening. You see Negroes and Latinos doing that, man, okay? And they're doing that because we believe, man. We believe in these scriptures, and the words of this book, all right, resonate with us, man. So our faith is the proof. Our faith is the evidence that the scriptures are real, because first and foremost, all right, this is a spiritual book. There's an energy behind it, okay? Is it 20? Yeah. This is St. John chapter 20. I'll start at 26. This is going into when Yahawashi rose after 3 days and 3 nights and went to visit his the disciples, man, okay, and revealed himself to them after he rose from the dead, after his resurrection. This is St. John chapter 20 verse 25. It says, the other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands and print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. See, this is Thomas speaking. He wanted to touch with his hands. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to feel for himself. He wanted to see for himself. Okay, but he was in a mindset of being carnal. Okay, he wanted that carnal evidence to prove that that Yahawashi was himself, and that a spiritual and miraculous thing occurred. Okay, and that's the same sentiment, that's the same mindset a lot of guys in Israel, all right, not even in Israel, people outside of Israel, like people in the Black conscious community, excuse me, and different people who come up against us, okay, and against the truth. They want physical evidence. Let me see the Lord. Let me see the Lord's garment. Let me see your so-called Jesus's burial tomb. Let me see his bones. This and that. That's the type of things they want to see in order to believe. Okay, just as the same spirit Thomas was in. Okay. But Yahawashi, when we keep reading, is going to pretty much rebuke him or correct him on his thinking patterns. Verse 26, and after 8 days again, and his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahawashi, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, peace be unto you. Then said he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. You see? And Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my God. So Thomas, came around to finally believing, all right, but it took him to actually touch to believe, man. But let's keep reading. It says, and Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my power. Yahawashi said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. See, blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. See, so blessed are they that have not seen, and those that have not seen Yahawashi are brothers that are out in the highways and the hedges preaching about Yahawashi in his second return, man. Those of us that's in this truth, man. Okay, we don't see the Lord. We haven't seen the Most High. We haven't seen him physically, okay? We haven't seen any of the prophets or any of those things, man. But we just, we believe, man. Okay, we believe, okay, that they exist because we have a spiritual, first and foremost, connection with the Most High. We see the Most High through his works on the earth, man. You know, we see the Most High through his works. We see the Lord through his creation. Okay, we see the Most High through the spiritual differences between Edomites and Israelites, between any of the heathens, okay, and the Israelites, because the scriptures say that the Lord's name and his spirit is only going to be found amongst his people Israel. You know, you see how Israel is the main ones packed into the churches, you know, because we first and foremost have a connection to the Lord, man. All right. And the Lord did that as a sign that we are those people, you know. So let me read it again. It says, "Thou hast blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed." Okay, and it's this the first and foremost faith and the belief in this thing is what's going to account also later on for, you know, our salvation and the obtaining of the promises that the Lord promised his people. Okay, all right, just like as Abraham, you know, our forefather Abraham, he operated strictly off of faith, you know, and that pleased the Lord to the point where he made his covenant and promised him that he was going to, you know, obtain the land of milk and honey and ultimately the kingdom of heaven. And yeah, but this is Romans chapter 4, verse 13. It says, "For the promise that he should be heir of the world," okay, "was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith." Okay, so that's how we're eventually going to obtain the promises and be heirs of the world. Okay, it's not because of our works. It's not because, you know, we put up, you know, all these videos every week. You know, those are an indicator of the faith that we have first and foremost, which is initially going to get us saved. Okay, so we're going to be heirs, joint heirs with YAHAWASHI in the kingdom to come, because first and foremost we believed. Okay, we didn't see the Lord. Okay, we didn't do all these archaeological digs ourselves. It's beautiful to see those things, but we operating strictly off of faith, man. Okay, it takes faith to continue into this thing, continue in this truth. Okay, first and foremost, you know, and a lot of our people, 2/3 mainly, are not going to make it into the kingdom because they don't believe, and that's written in Hebrews the 3rd chapter. So we can't have that wicked heart of unbelief like it tells you. Okay, we have to continue in our faith, continue just believing. All right, and like the scriptures say, it's impossible to please the Lord without faith. Okay, so as long as we continue in faith, continue to believe, we are pleasing Yahawah. That's what's going to account for our righteousness. That's what's going to help us make it to the kingdom of heaven. All right, so that's pretty much it on that. Lord willing, this was edifying. Hold the faith, man. Okay, shalom.